baby girl. You want to give the friends a 2-month update?
Hello friends, welcome to our channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Today we're giving you all our 2-month update. Are you so excited?
She's excited. So we're actually a couple of days late, but Giovanna is 2 months old.
How do you feel about being 2 months?
She feels so good. She thinks she's a big grown-up girl. She pretty much does not sound like a newborn at all when she cries anymore, and that's a little hard for Mama to deal with. She sounds like a big grown-up baby. She started cooing. She's finding her voice. She likes to have little conversations. And she is a very big girl. She is 25.5 inches long and 17 pounds. This little sleeper she's wearing right now that fits so perfect is 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, you're such a big girl.
I've mentioned it a few times in a couple of different vlogs. She does have a pretty substantial upper lip tie, which means the frenulum, the little piece of flesh on the inside of the lip right here, is actually very short and thick and goes from the front of her gums to the tip of her lip, so she can't move her top lip that much. Snack break. But as you can tell by those stats, the lip tie really is not interfering with her ability to nurse well enough. That really is the major concern with various tongue and lip ties, is that it will prevent a proper latch and the ability to feed. Most babies with pretty severe ties, whether they're recognized or not, often end up with a diagnosis from the pediatrician of failure to thrive, just because they can't stretch their lips or their tongue enough to feed properly, and they'll often get exhausted just from the effort of a typical feeding, so they'll fall asleep before they've been able to eat well enough. Thankfully, despite the fact that it's a pretty significant tie, that hasn't been an issue for us. She is eating well and growing very well. I can feel the difference in her latch. I can see the difference. Basically, because her lip here doesn't extend well enough, she can't get the proper mouth shape, so she sucks in a lot of air at the sides of her mouth here. And it does also pinch, and it's not very comfortable for me, but it's definitely something I can deal with. Eventually, just her basic anatomy will probably get big enough that it won't be an issue, and she'll be able to latch better. It will be less painful for me. So for now, we're just working with it. She does have silent reflux, which is just plain old reflux, but she doesn't actually spit up. Like, she never spits up. She just never has. We can hear her food coming back up in her throat, and she just gulps it right back down. We can tell it makes her a bit uncomfortable, but she doesn't even really fuss about it. I do wonder, and I highly suspect, that her gulping all that extra air because of her latch issues really instigates most of the reflux. So we'll see if that gets better as she gets bigger and the tie is less of an issue. She is a really sweet, happy baby. She just loves to be with her siblings, kind of in the mix, watching them, watching their faces, hearing the constant chaos, because that's what she grew to inside my belly. Even the dogs barking barely bother her. She is an excellent sleeper. We bed share because it's just easiest for all of us to get a good night's sleep when there's the least disturbance for feedings. She is a great snuggler. She just likes to snuggle right up in somebody's armpit. She actually sleeps best with Daddy, which is funny to me, but it makes sense because when she was first born, she had me for the first couple of hours, and then I had the scary postpartum complications and ended up in a hospital bed for the next 36 hours, and I couldn't even sit up. And in order to feed her, we had to have pillows propped all around her to hold her up on me. So she spent aside from the first probably 3 hours after she was born, she spent the next 36 hours in my husband's arms and snuggled in his armpit to sleep on an uncomfortable hospital room couch. So it really is not a surprise to me that Daddy is her person. He pretty much imprinted on her. We like to joke that I am the food and Daddy is her person, and as much as it's a joke, it's also pretty true. She was dedicated at church on Sunday, which in our faith of Christianity, that means it's kind of equivalent to baptism, but we believe baptism should be a choice for a person when they're old enough to understand what that is. So dedication is just kind of saying, committing ourselves as her parents to our church, that we're going to do our best to raise her well in our faith. And then our church reciprocates by committing to supporting us and being our community in whatever way we need them as she grows. And I think that is it for this precious little girl. Yes, yes. I have been deemed recovered from all the things that we dealt with after she was born. My blood levels have completely recouped and I physically seem to be well. Because of that, I've decided to pick back up on Wellness Wednesdays, which is every 2 weeks. On Wednesday, I post about where I am with my health and wellness journey. Yes, so I figured today could be her 2-month update, and hopefully next Wednesday I will be able to share with you all how the postpartum journey is going and my goals for the weeks ahead and how I plan to achieve them. Once that is published, I will put a link to that in the info box below in case you're watching this later after it comes out and you'd like to see that. Yes. But thank you all so much for hanging out with us today. Thank you so much for the love and support you've been showering on us for the last year since we found out we were pregnant with this girl, huh? It's been almost a year. We so appreciate our community here, and I always love all the comments from our friends who actually had babies right around the same time as Gia in the comments. It's so fun to talk about what our babies are up to. As always, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to hang out for more. We'll see you again soon. Oh, we're gonna go. She doesn't want to go. Hi. That's better. No fussing.